Hello and welcome to this Google Workspace tutorial video hosted by me, Adam Pearce of Strawberry 7. This video is designed to show you a little bit around the admin console and how it's laid out. If you don't know what Google Workspace is, then feel free to have a look at the video below, which will give you an introduction to Google Workspace. If you'd like to sign up to Google Workspace, then you can book a meeting with me down below where we can discuss your requirements and what your business does. So how do we get to the admin console for Google Workspace? Well, we just open up a browser and we go to admin.google.com. You'll need to make sure that you're signed in as an administrator for your Google Workspace platform. Here we are already, so it's taken us straight into the admin console. Now, there's a lot of different things in this admin console and a lot of details. We're going to be releasing a video series which dives into each of these sectors here, but for now, I'm just going to give you a general overview of each of these tiles and tell you what each one does. So the first one here is the users, and that's pretty self-explanatory. You can see some of the things that you can do here. This is where you add people, you delete them, you can reset passwords from here, and you can go in and generally look around at the users there. Domains is something that's not used very often once you've set your console up. If you don't know what a domain is, it's the part that comes after the @ on your email address or it's your website. So in our case, it's strawberry7.com. The reason that you might want to manage multiple domains within your workspace is you might be a business that has multiple trading names. So you might be a holding company and then have multiple trading names underneath. With Google Workspace, you can actually manage that all in one place. So you could create all of your different domains here. For most people, you just have one, you put it in once and then you forget it. Billing is a section where you manage your subscription services and you manage your payment method. If you're one of our customers, then we take care of all of your billing. So if you need to increase or decrease your numbers, you just drop us a message and we'll take care of that for you. Groups is an area where you can set up groups of different users. This is typically for the sake of email addresses. So if you wanted to set up a sales @ or marketing @ type email address, you could set it up in groups and then you could assign people to those different email addresses. And it can just be one person if you want to, and then you can use that for that type of email on your business. You can also use groups for controlling settings that you're setting into groups of people. And the other thing that you can use groups for is in Google Drive, you can share out folders or files to groups of people. The advantage of doing this is you could create a drive where you share out to, say, the sales department, and then as you add and remove people from the sales department, you don't have to kind of reshare everything. You've just shared it once to that group, and then as you add and remove people, that setting is remembered. Apps is where you would administer any of the apps that you have access to within your Google Workspace. So that includes things like your email, calendar, your video calling. You would control all of the settings there for those. So as an example, you can set it so that your team can't share things externally in Google Drive. You would set that in apps. Devices is where you would control any devices that you have. Those are typically Chromebooks. Those are Google devices. But if you're on the enterprise version of Google Workspace, you can also control Windows devices within here as well. And you would set those up how you want them to be in there. Account settings is another area where you kind of set it once and forget it. This is where you do things like accept terms and conditions, you set your logo, and you set your business name and things like that. It's kind of a one-time setup in there. Organizational units is a section where you can set different layers within your Google Workspace, and it's typically for setting either device controls or setting the setting controls within Google Workspace. It's something that's a little bit advanced, so you can either wait for our video on this section or you can drop a question in the comments below if you have a direct question. Security is where you would set things like your password policies and any other kind of security like two-factor authentication within here. If you don't know what two-factor authentication is, it's where you have a password, but you also get sent a code to your device, or you have a little app on your device that gives you a code. You enter that as well, and that code changes. It's typically, you've probably used it with your bank before. Reports is an area within Google Workspace that can be very useful to you. This is an area where you can go in and run reports that are relevant to your Google Workspace. And this can be very handy in employment disputes or something that might have happened within Workspace that you want to find out more about. It can also be quite happy if you're having a bit of a problem with your email. Say somebody sent you an email and it's just gotten lost. You can go in here and you can run quite detailed reports to find out what's happened to that email. Did it get blocked? Did it never arrive? Did it get marked as spam? It really empowers you as a business owner to do these quite complex IT tasks very, very easily. Buildings and resources is relevant to companies that have a premises or companies that typically have quite a large premises or multiple premises. And what you can do with buildings and resources is create things like meeting rooms, projectors, telephones, and then within Google Calendar, you can book these out and you can handle these as resources. Rules is an area where you can go in and you can create specific notification rules that are relevant within Google Workspace. Some of these are set up by default. For example, when you sign into an account with a new device, it will automatically notify you via email. Admin roles is an area where you can go in and control who has administrative access, kind of like we've got now, into Google Workspace. The really cool thing with this is that you don't need to give somebody either no admin access or full admin access. There's loads of different layers that you can give them. A direct example of when you might want to use this in your business is you could set up a password reset role and you could give that to your VA, for example, so that they handle your password resets. Data migration is an area that you use when you're bringing somebody in or you're first setting Google Workspace up, and it's really, really handy when you've got somebody who's got a whole load of emails, say in Office 365, and you want to migrate it over to Google Workspace. You can use the data migration tool to do that automatically. And the last tab here is support. And support just allows you to contact Google support if you want to. If you're one of our customers, I would encourage you to contact us first of all, and we'll try our best to help you and take care of your issue. Whatever it is, we'll be able to handle it and take care of that for you as quickly as we can. So that's a bit of an overview of Google Workspace here and what these different tiles are in the admin console. This is an area that you typically go into when you just want to do some kind of administration task or you want to do something a little bit more advanced. If any of this seems confusing or overwhelming, don't worry, we're here to help. If you want to book in a meeting with us, then there's a link down below where you can book directly onto my calendar. If you want to email us, you can email us on info@strawberry7.com. If you've just got a general question about something in the admin console I haven't covered in this video, please just drop it in the comments down below. I'll do my best to reply as quickly as possible. As always, thank you so much for watching.